Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an interesting tree using different methods. If you want to download this tree, there is a link in the description. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a new scene. And here I'm going to remove the camera and the light. We don't need it right now. I'm going to jump into orthographic view and front view. And then the first thing we want to do is trunk. For the trunk, I'm going to just do it using this cube. I'm going to scale on the z-axis. And let me bring the panel for the options here, and I'm gonna let's do 6, so we know our tree is gonna be 12 meters tall, and then I'm gonna move the Z to 6 and set the origin at the bottom. I'm gonna make it a little bit narrower, so I'm gonna press S Shift Z because I want to scale on the X and Y axis but not the Z. And then I'm gonna offset a little bit the cube on the X axis, and I'm gonna set the origin again to the 3D cursor. Then I'm gonna rename that. That's gonna be trunk. I'm gonna add an array. I want 6 copies. And then uncheck relative offset and check object offset. Then I'm gonna add an empty. And our offset is going to be relative to this object. So right now you can see that it's doing this weird thing, and this is because our cube has a different scale. So the first thing we should do is apply the transform. So I'm gonna apply the scale, and now what I want to do is rotate the empty on the z-axis 60 degrees. So as you can see, we have now our cubes like following a circle. Another thing I want to do is I'm gonna add subdivision surface, and I'm gonna edit a little bit our cube because we're gonna need a lot of edges here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna subdivide, and I'm gonna add maybe like 20 edge loops there. Perfect. And then maybe I'm gonna move them closer. I don't want to have so much offset. So on the x-axis, looks weird right now, but I have to, when we set the origin again, it's gonna look much better. Perfect. So that's what we wanted. Now I'm gonna add a curve. Curve, and here I'm gonna trunk empty offset, and this is gonna be the trunk curve. So I'm gonna jump into edit mode, grab this one can go 0, this one can go to 0 as well. Just gonna try to do like a straight line right now, and then I'll fix it later. y0 and x is 0. Okay, I'm gonna undo that because I lost the handles, and I need the handles for my yeah. When I modify the scale, I lost the handles, and I need those handles to smooth my curve. So we're gonna do something like, let's shape the kind of like the tree that we want. Just like a weird, interesting tree. And so from this point of view, I mean, you don't need to do that, but I just want to have it very straight, and then I can move it later on to have it more interesting in different points of view. But I want to have it very two-dimensional right now. So this is our shape our tree. This could be a little better, maybe work the transition between can be nicer. This one maybe like that. So we have a better transition between the vertices. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply third modifier. It's gonna be the curve, and we want to deform in the z-axis. And now you can see like it's not doing the right thing because this curve is starting here instead of at the origin. And this has a really easy fix. Go to edit mode, and here in segments, go to switch direction. So now it's starting where it should be. And then I'm gonna enable the preview here, so we can see the model on the edit mode with the modifiers. And what I want to do is just scale the z-axis again. Let me grab everything. I'm gonna so now you can follow. Then we go to the cube again, and I want to scale the normals. To scale the normals, just press Alt S, and then you can modify the width of your cube. The next thing is I want to twist my tree. And to do that, I'm going to select this vertex and go to tilt. Maybe I'm going to try with 300. And I'm going to enable proportionality. Just like that, this vertex is going to get affected as well. Or maybe not. Let's see, where is the... Oh, let me do the medium point here. Okay. Just the G because I want to see the radius. So now, if I tilt 300, it's only twisting a part of the curve. So maybe let me go again here. Oh, no. Let's see if I do this one. Oh, this one it's 100 300. This one is 0. Should be, let's do 150. Okay. So now we are twisting. So there is 3 points. What I did, it's the first point, it's tilt at 0. Then the last point is 300, and this one it's 150. I'm gonna smooth. So here we have our twisted trunk. Okay, next it's gonna be I'm gonna create. Let me organize that. I'm gonna press M to put it in a collection, and this is gonna be trunk. Next thing is gonna be the branches. For the branches, I'm gonna use a method that I saw on YouTube. There is a lot of videos that use this method, and it's gonna be the same. So for the for this method, we are gonna use again a cube. It's gonna be a branch. I'm gonna hide for a second our trunk. Then I'm gonna jump into edit mode, merge all vertices. Now all my vertices are converted to 1 and they are the origin. And I'm gonna extrude on the z-axis for a second and apply the modifiers like that. You can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna add skin modifier, and I'm gonna add subdivision surface again. So now we can create an interesting shape for our branch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate it on the y-axis because so RY 90, so I can have a better view of what I'm doing. Let's see. Let's do here and here. Then from here we can try to create something more interesting. And yes, you can use the proportional editing to move your vertices. I'm gonna do medium point here. Just trying to. Oh, let me see. No, I did. That's weird. So it's a weird shape here. 1, 3. Alright. Well, yeah, it got a little bit weird, but I think maybe because I was modifying with the proportional editing on, so I have been influencing other vertices that maybe I didn't want, but it created a weird, maybe more natural shape. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. I was just want to show the method. It doesn't really matter how good or bad it looks. One thing that can be interesting to show, it's we can modify in the same way that we can modify the width of a point in a curve. We can here modify the width or the scale of these vertices. To do that, it's Control A, and then we can make it narrower. I'm gonna enable again proportional editing like that. I can do a better transition between points. So that's my branch. A little bit weird, but maybe afterwards when I add the foliage looks a little bit better. So I'm gonna bring back my trunk. As you can see, these branches are a little bit maybe too big. And then I'm gonna put this branch. It's already in a collection. I'm gonna rename it branch. Let me apply the scale. Then go back to the edit mode and yeah, make it thinner. Perfect. And now I'm gonna instance this collection. So to do that, going here, I do instance to scene. So now I can hide that branch and I can just edit or move this one. And manually, I'm gonna create some copies and put them. I tried to do that using array modifiers and curves, but it was looking too symmetrical, kind of. I couldn't get a more natural distribution or variation, so I guess it's just better to do it manually and then play with the different instances. I'm gonna show you a way or a different way or method to create variation when you are instancing the same models over and over. So I'm gonna just very quickly add some branches. So a very weird looking tree, but I don't care about the size right now because the size is gonna change. Just want to add some branches. So here we have our weird looking tree. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all my instances and I'm gonna add some variation. To do that, I go to Object, Transform, and we have this option called Randomize Transforms. Here, it's very fun because we can modify each copy in a range of location, rotation, and scale. So for example, let's say I would like to have more variation in scale. So let's do, for example, 0.5. So your branches are gonna randomly pick a value between 0.5 and 1, or yeah, and one, and then I'm gonna create like this different variation. And then click on scale even. Otherwise, as you could see, it picks. So if you do scale even, it just picks. It keeps the proportion of your mesh. If you don't check this option, each axis is gonna pick a different value, deforming your mesh in not a proportional way. So another different way thing we can modify here, it's maybe the rotation on the Z, maybe 30 degrees, or I don't want to create too much variation there. And yeah, here let's put 20 and 20. So we have, and then yeah, I'm gonna move that manually. So once you have a little bit the variation that you're happy with, for example, this one, I'm gonna have to like still modify them manually to adjust what I want. Think this one is a bit too big, this one is a bit too small, so just and then let's add some foliage. For the foliage, the good thing about having your instances is now I can just go to my original branch here. I'm gonna go into local mode, so I just see one, and then in our collection I can add another object that's gonna be foliage. Subdivide, mesh, subdivide, where is it? I always get confused, where is it here? Subdivide. And then I'm gonna do maybe 2 or 3 and smooth it. That's it. Yes. Y. Let's pretend that's some weird foliage as well, and then just move it like this. Oops. Maybe do it a little bit more flat, and then add here a big one. That always helps to sell better the this width. And in a similar way that we did with our branches, now I can randomize a little bit this mesh. And I do the same, I go to transform and randomize. Under the randomize, it's affecting this time the vertices. So you can, again, you can play and break it more or less. I think it's always good to bring some variation. Smooth it. No, I can smooth that. Let me move this one a little bit up. And this one, it's creating some weird here. I'm gonna smooth it with the smooth tool. So kind of fix that weird overlapping vertices. So the good thing of doing it this way is now when I go back to um, the global view, all my branches have already the foliage applied. So I can hide the original, and then we can see our tree. So this is that was a quick tutorial just to show you different techniques that I use normally in my models and when I'm creating uh, trees, bushes, clouds, all of that stuff. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, leave any comments if you have questions or suggestions. I'll be more than happy to try to help. Thank you so much for watching and have a great week. Bye bye.